I don't know who's in here, but hello. Thank you for the thumbs up. We already got thumbs up coming in. So thank you. Oh, I don't know who's in here. I'll give it about 5 minutes. Had to let the phone charge. So we'll give it about 5 minutes and then I'll start going over everything. I'm probably going to come in on the weekends because I'm off Saturday and Sunday, at least for now. That way, we'll start talking. Oh, y'all. I am working on my... Hey, Tanya, what's up, baby? Good to see you. How's your weather? Maryland, right? Y'all know sometimes grandma getting old. Maryland. Flatbed, what's up, baby? Okay, I'll shut that. I had that a couple weeks back. Hey, Kathy, what's up? Welcome. Jay, my brother in Christ, how you doing, baby? Thank you for that. We're gonna talk a little bit about that today, Mr. J. I love my J. So the food picture, y'all see I put food pictures. Yeah, Maryland, y'all should be cool. Y'all should, that smoke stuff has started to go out, right? Because y'all had that smoke drama from Canada. I put pictures of food. Sometimes it's either what I make or where I go. There's a place near me called My Mother's, and I've been whenever I come in here, and I think I'm gonna try to do weekly on here because it's a way to talk and get things off my chest. But also, I think God is doing some stuff and sharing some stuff because my interactions lately have been whoa. Either from people with feedback from here on some of the subjects that are coming up. Today, I'm going to talk about some stuff too, as far as who we are, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit and how people take you. Okay. We'll talk about that in a minute. But the food pictures, I take pictures usually where I go because I used to do, and I still probably could. I just haven't done it lately. I did Yelp reviews, and I was like a Yelp, what they call Elite 23er. They asked me to do, like, to be part of this club, and I did it for, I think it was Elite. I think for 2021 and 2022, I did it. But the prices of stuff going out. Hey, PJ, what's up? How you doing, sis? The prices of food going out is so pricey now. I have been kind of cutting back. I got to get better because I've been doing some grumpy stuff. So when I go to work, I'm grabbing lunch and that's costing money. So I'm going to try to, one of the things this weekend is try to set up some meals that are ready to go to work so I can rein in my budget. I have usually go out with like Joe or now Linda's a new friend that has come in. And I used to do little get-togethers, and Joe and I were going out, man, almost weekly. I'm good. I'm good. How's weather where you at, PJ? Tiffany, what's up, baby? How's weather where you at, Tiff? So I've been really looking at budget, and I think we all with the cost of things, because it used to be I would go out with Joe, and we could do anywhere from 10 to maybe at the top $20 each. Now you go out, and I mean even to inexpensive stuff that used to be 10, $15. Oh yeah, Louisiana always wet though, but I love your food. Well, I told you my mother's mother and her grandmother, my great grandmother, the lady was mean. They were from Louisiana, so I love the food. And I didn't realize, I thought about that later on. Why I do like Louisiana cooking is probably because it's part of where I didn't know till later on when she sent me some stuff. It was part of where I was from. But oh, I wish we saw 78 degrees. Girl, I think we somewhere in the 90s and hundreds. It's hot as Hades up here in Arizona. And the food, and the food tastes great. Flatbed, I like Louisiana food. It's good. I like gumbo. I like boudin. Oh my God. Louisiana food is bomb. Oh, you talking about for the price? Hold on, let me go back. Oh no, my food is usually good, even if but now you paying $30 for and I don't do a lot of fast food, but I'm gonna say what I would consider semi-fast food restaurants. I like restaurants. The portions are smaller, while the price is high as hell. Correct. So I'm starting to realize because I had like had put money aside, and then all of a sudden I went to go look at my budget, like where the hell my money go? And I use the card a lot. So I may be going to, there's a Christian lady I watch on here, and she does envelopes. So she started following, I forgot who that man is. He's like a famous financial guru teacher. And so she talked about when before she became Christian after a divorce and she was in financial straits, she took a class through the church she ended up at, and the class that she took taught her how to manage money, and a lot of it was cash based. So she used like an envelope system, how much to put aside for savings, how much to pay for this bill, in order to get herself out of debt. My Chapter 7 lawyer is paid off. The only thing I have to do is I have some taxes I have to file, but I have to pay for those filings because I had my tax guy do it. So he went and got any taxes that weren't completed, and now I have to pay a fee for him to file the taxes because he prepared them. So that's the last bit of my part that I need. Old Man Red is hanging by a thread. A couple of weeks back, he broke down, while I was getting a sub at Jersey Mike's, he broke down the lower ball arm on the passenger side went and the whole car sunk. Praise God, because I had to look at the plus in the situation. I was in the parking lot and not driving to work because my speed going to work is between 30 and 50 miles an hour. So if that would have happened, when that happened, I could have caused an accident. It could have been a really bad situation. It was luckily I was turning out of the space, getting ready to head out the parking lot, and the whole car sunk on the passenger right front. I got transmission issues, I already know, because there was tons of transmission fluid in the back of the car. Like I said, $500. It went up and back, but he is going to have to get replaced here, and I don't know how much time I have, but he's going to need replacing. So praying on that. So right now, and then I'm limited on the type of car I can get because it can only be of a certain value. Because if it's over a certain value, it would be taken for the bankruptcy. So it can only be of a certain value. That's the other thing. And I didn't really want to go into a car loan, but I might have to. And I might just have to look at it as though once the bankruptcy, just have to turn the car back over, but have something to get back and forth. I don't know. I'm weighing my options right now. But the food pictures, so that I got up was last Sunday or Sunday before last? Sunday before last. And I wanted to try out this restaurant that had been coming up in my feed. And I guess they closed down during COVID and they opened back up. And I heard about them a while back, almost a year or so back, and prior to COVID. And I didn't know anything about them. I didn't even know. I just saw them come up in a feed. I didn't even know where they really were located. And then it showed up again in my Yelp feed, and it's called My Mother's Restaurant. Okay, that's the name of it. But they're just down the street from my house. They're not far. So I decided to go try it, which I like. And now being older, like I'm being ready to be 55, my tolerance for people under the age of 40 is very nil. It's a different mindset. They think different. They're weird, and the younger, the weirder. We'll talk about that a little bit too. So no, if you're younger and you watch this channel, I'm sorry, I'm gonna talk about your generation because y'all are strange. And at first you would say, well, maybe it's because I'm older, but no, it's a different weirdness. It's people even older than me are like, yeah, they're not like y'all. They're not like I know people who are 70, 80 plus, and they know, like people, they be like, something ain't right. Um, but the world is changing for a reason, right? So I went there and I had, with the picture you saw is sea bass, which I love. Sea bass is one of my top favorite fish. They had sea bass, they grilled it, green beans, and I did a baked potato with the sour cream. And then they make their own homemade bread. The bread is so soft, it's like a pillow. I was like, I could sleep on this. This bread is so good. They make their own homemade bread, and they also make their own pies. So I had, after that, my dessert was coconut cream pie. Part of that I took home because I couldn't eat all that and I wanted some dessert. I couldn't even eat all my dessert, but I wanted to try their pies. So all the reviews were really good, and it really feels like you're going to somebody's mama's house and mama in the kitchen and cooking your meal. Everything from the way the green beans were flavored, the seasoning, everything reminded me of a home cooked meal. Um, so even though my biological mother was crazy, the woman could cook. So it reminded me, my grandparents, my grandmother could cook. Both my grandmothers could cook, either side. And so it reminded me of having a really good home cooked meal. So that's what you see a picture of. And if I have pictures, I do that. I just put random pictures up of stuff. I mean, I think I had one of the wine bottles I had sitting on my shelf. I did just random thumbnails. I'm not trying to be like YouTubers. I try to be me, and we're gonna get into that a little bit too. But I just try to be me. Um, so that's how I am. Well, Louisiana is always humid. And to me, because you're surrounded by swampland and water, you guys are always humid. It's green though. It's pretty. I wouldn't want to live in Louisiana. God bless you. Louisiana's not my cup of tea. I wouldn't want to live in Louisiana. Y'all have a lot of stuff going on in Louisiana. One of the trucking females was killed down there in Louisiana. And even when we were down there, I went. My one aunt who was married to her pervy husband, who was director of an urban league. We went down there for an urban league convention prior to Katrina, back when I say that's 80, 82, and I was babysitting for my cousin. And we went down there and we stayed at the Hilton down there off of the Mississippi. And even then, y'all had a lot of homeless. Um, I thought it was interesting to visit. I just knew that I would never want to live in Louisiana. There was a lot of poverty too that I saw, and I'm not rich by any means at all. Probably poverty. I'm pretty much right on the cursor of poverty level, but nowadays. But I just saw it was depressing to me. Food was great, culturally beautiful. You had a rich culture, but there's a heavy poverty level. There was a heavy homeless level. But I think all across the world right now, all across the U.S. I don't know about everywhere else, but all across the U.S. right now, our homeless has gone through the roof. There's a heavy level of mental illness going on right now. Um, Financially, all of us are trying to, I think, keep our heads above water, but there's people who are drowning and who have definitely sunk because of what's going on economically. And politically, we're not really, the politicians want to make sure, oh, job numbers are up and they're great and yada, yada, yada. But A, what kind of jobs are those? B, some people don't have the skill set for the jobs. C, some of the jobs that are out there are not going to pay your bills, not unless it's a whole bunch of people living at home with one another. And so a lot of these are entry level jobs that aren't going to pay bills. You're seeing the number of people in the tech industries that are being let go and laid off right now. Um, all of this is having some huge impacts. Quick story: I had worked with a guy years ago when I was at University of Phoenix, and cool guy, cool guy. We differed on our religious views. He was, I think, Jehovah's Witness. No comment, but y'all already know. And I'm Christian, but I liked him. He's a nice guy. And he had worked up in Washington State. He had a really lucrative job. I think he said he was making something like 200,000 a year, making big bank money. Had been married. I think he had 3 daughters. And he married somebody. A lot of times people marry people for a lot of different reasons. So most, especially males, but females do it too, you marry based on looks. You don't marry on who you got. So you marry based on what a person looks like. And then you find out that they're crazy. And so you marry on what you think is looking good. So males tend to be more with their eyes, okay? But females do it too. And females, I think, more so pick people because of loneliness. I don't want to be alone, and they get attention paid. So they'll settle for that type of person, okay? Um, I'm going to get to the subject in a minute, but I'm going to talk about this. So he married this lady. She had, I think, 3 kids for him. When things went awry, I think she went her own way and she had other issues. Um, Obviously, she took custody of the girls, but later he went and got custody of his kids, which told me he was a man. That's what I liked about him. White guy. 3 good daughters. One of his daughters was, I think, raped by the mama's boyfriend, and the mama knew it. Okay, one of them mamas. Okay. So he and I had a really good conversation. We were at the University of Phoenix, and he was just very, well, it kind of leads into what I'm going to talk about. What you saw with him is what you got. That's what I liked about him. Who he said he was is who he was. I didn't feel like I needed to figure him out. I hate when people do this. Like they trying to figure, you don't need to figure me out. I'm going to tell you who I am, and what you see is what you get. Okay. So let's go and get into that. But anyway, he was very much, and I didn't mean for it to go this way, but okay, God. So he was very much what you see is what you get kind of guy. How he said, what he went. Well, he hit rock bottom, and he talked about how rock bottom he hit, and he talked about, all of a sudden he got laid off from the company. The company had some financial issues. He got let go from his position with the company, and he didn't have a college degree. Okay, he like me, had a high school diploma, but was very fortunate in areas of his life. The doors just opened up, and he had good jobs, and he ended up landing this job making big money. At one point, I was making close to probably about 60 to 80,000 a year when I was working in the financial industry. Um, but I hit hard times. Life happened, especially when the housing market and everything started changing. Um, and then trying to find jobs, even people I knew who were college educated were having a hell of a time finding jobs. So if you don't have a college education, that even made it even worse. But let alone if people with college educations were having problems back then. So, and I work with people. I got a guy I work with right now who has a master's degree, something in computer something, and he works with me doing exactly the same job I'm doing, making exact. Actually, I think I make a little bit more than. No, I actually make more than him because I'm a dual, and he's only doing one part of the insurance part of it. So I'm doing two parts of the insurance part, and I make more money than him. So, needless to say, he started talking to me, and he told me about his daughters. He got custody of his kids. He talked about how he hit rock bottom, and just how he was trying to rebuild his life. I know he bought a house, like he would drive in a way distance because the cheapest place he could get a house was out in the outskirts of Casa Grande, and we worked in the Phoenix, on the edge of Phoenix. Worked in, the edge of Phoenix, which was on the edge of Phoenix, Tempe. So his drive into work from where he lived, I can tell you, was at least an hour and a half to 2 hours out. Um, but it was where he could afford a home and wanted to have enough room for his girls. And even when he met the new woman he married, this is how much of a man he was. He did a background check on that woman. I was like, I looked at him. I said, He says, I will not have anything happen to my girls. And I want to know, he says, even though I sensed that this was who this person was, I didn't sense anything bad about her. He said, because of what had happened under their mother, I wanted to make sure that the person that I was marrying was exactly, I was reading them for what they were. He said, and I was very forthright with her. So like I said, he was what you see is what you get. I loved him. When I was like, you are an amazing dude. He basically told the woman, he says, yes, I'm asking you to marry me. He says, but before we get married, you can do it to me. I don't care. I'm going to do it to you. This is what has happened to my girls, and I want to protect my daughters. He says, and any children that I have going forward. He says, I'm going to have a background check done on you. And he says, if you take offense to that, then I understand it. You can go your way. But for me, I got to protect my girls because they've already been through enough. And she stuck with him. And I understood why. Because you can't ask for someone who can be that forthright, that honest, that direct. And if they love their girls enough, they respect their females and their male daughters enough. I can't. That to me is so commendable. So an example is the half siblings I have that Monty introduced me to, and Monty himself. One of the brothers, he has a sexual addiction that Monty had. And so on his Facebook page, I had noticed that he was putting things about very sexual stuff with women. I said, whoa. And I said something to him. Because I think, and again, I'm very direct. I'm very direct. That's why and this is the same one who took the car and was supposed to sell it and get the money back. So this is the same dude, okay? So, which I know wasn't going to happen. So he actually had published some things that were very lewd, in my opinion. And he has two girls. And Monty used to say things that were lewd. Like Monty would use certain words. And I said, wait, homie. You don't want to use those. I'm your daughter. You have two girls. These are words you shouldn't be using. I said that told me Monty's crassness and his view of women more. And we had to have a come to Jesus meeting because I said, first of all, you don't use those words around me because that means you have no respect for females, not even me. And there's something wrong. Well, I had addressed this with one of the sons. I said, look, I know we don't know each other. We've just met each other, a couple of times. But I'm going to say this because those are my half nieces. I mean, my nieces, so to speak. I said, you have two daughters, and you're on Facebook, and these girls are growing up into young girls. They're knowledgeable enough of stuff, and you're talking about sexual stuff with a female in which your daughters are going to see. She's coming at me, to the girl, to the sister, the actual blood sister of his, full sister. She's coming at me. Told me more about, again, these are from Monty's offspring. So what you see is what you get. You got to know who you're dealing with. And I had already picked up some things when I was dealing with them, but oftentimes I think we try to overlook things and still try to get along with people. But then there's a point where you just have to accept what you see is what you get, and whether you're going to jack with that or not. So we're going to get into that a little bit too on another level. So when I met this guy, I liked him. I liked what he did. I liked who he was in conjunction with his kids. And I kind of segued a little bit here. But for me, I have been taking some steps back. The past few weekends, I have been doing just alone time. Normally, I would go out with Joe. I would go out with my buddy Linda. We have a new friend in there, Victoria. I would go out with her. And we would all go out together and go to a restaurant. But the prices have been so extravagant that I was like, you need to step back. And I can only do this so often. So I might do it once a quarter, is what I might do. But I also believe that God is giving me some downtime. I need to get some things done in my house, right? I still got boxes over here. I got some stuff in front of me. And I want to get this in order, and I need to get some stuff out of here. I need to downsize some stuff out. So I still had stuff that came from the storage unit. I got two or three more black bags, big, like those big lawn bags, full of stuff that came from storage in my room that I'm going through, and I need to go through that and get it over to Goodwill. I had to do laundry. I'm not doing it today. I think I'm going to do it tomorrow, or I'll do it later tonight. I haven't decided yet. Anyway, I've been taking some downtime. I've been letting the Lord just kind of pull me back. And in that, I've had some time to kind of analyze some things. And in the same time, I realize that I think God's doing some things with me. But in addition, there are people drawing to me that I've noticed in an outward scape. Okay. And there's some that are just, they have nothing to do with me. And that's okay. I'm a person that realized that God maybe allows people in your life for a season. And I'm also realizing who I am and what more and more, and what I will tolerate and not tolerate. Okay. So share some stories, y'all. Oh my goodness, Grandma J, what's up, baby? One of the truckers, how you doing? You still rolling? I know you went back to Prime for a minute, but then I think are you back? Are you still rolling? Y'all go, if y'all haven't visited Grandma J and you're in the trucking, go over to the channel and check his channel out. You will enjoy it. His ups and downs. I'm not in trucking anymore, Grind, but it's good to see you, baby. Um, I recently just allowed God to let me step back, and it's kind of like the impending feeling. Actually, speaking of trucking, when I came out of trucking, when I was at that SRT company in Texarkana. And like I said, recently I found, well, recently, but shortly thereafter, they closed their doors. I think they, Covenant took over whatever rest of their customers, and I think they got rid of a lot of people. All of the owner ops had to turn their trucks in. But there was a lot in that location, to my understanding, closed down. I think it's just a drop yard, maybe for Covenant, if that. I don't even know if it's that anymore. The person who had recruited me over is not with them, and I think he's working for someone up on the East Coast, because I think he was in, Chi-Town was in Chicago area. And I haven't talked to him in a while either. I need to check in with him. I know I think he had a kid. But God's kind of pulling me back and giving me some time. Um, Local cab life now. Oh, Nebraska. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, congrats. That's, honey, being home and having a regular life is bomb. See, I got a female friend of mine right now, and that's what she's trying to find. here in Arizona. She wants to get into fuel holding, so I'm praying for her. One of my trucking friends, Nikki, I'm hoping that open. Well, I'm praying that God's best for her, because what I've realized is sometimes we think we want one thing, and God has a whole nother plan, and so we just need to be open to whatever the plan is. Um, but what I've realized is that a lot of times, sometimes you guys need to be pulled back. Last night I had a conversation with a young lady that I work with. I've worked with her at two different companies, and we just ran into each other at this company. And I'd worked with her back when I was in healthcare at United Healthcare. And then we ran into each other at the company I'm at currently. And she's nice. She's a nice lady. But we ran into each other, and we were started talking about through chat, because we don't sit near each other anymore. But we started talking about the climate of things, culture right now, and what's being pushed on to people right now. And so she said, I'm tired of people pushing their stuff onto me. And I was like, I get it. I get it. Um, and we started talking, and then I said, and we were saying, and I'd asked Linda the same thing, because I had noticed behaviors of some people had changed with me. And I'm a what you see is what you get. So some people try to figure me out. So like when I went to that funeral thing that we did with Monty, and I had to meet them crazy cousins, and the one cousin the whole time was doing this to me. You know, that look like you're trying to figure me out? You gotta figure me out. I am a what you see is what you get kind of person. I will tell you who I am. I will show you who I am, and you can choose to jack with that or not. Oftentimes, though, people, I don't know what it is, but it's like people, which is why I kind of bring up that guy from University of Phoenix with his daughters. People tend to want to bring in stuff in order to either A, not be lonely, B, it's their normal, and so they tend to want to stay in the madness. So let me give another story. Y'all like story time? Story time. I have an associate I'm getting very close with. I'm going to say we're friends now. Very, very close friendship. She is extremely sweet. From the moment I met her, we met at a job. Very sweet, very funny. Love her personality. I have met one of her other siblings, liked her other sibling. Very, very sweet, very family oriented. And they come from a big family, black family. But she's had some siblings in her family who have issues. One of her brothers was a drug addict. One of her sister, who's now has Alzheimer's, who lived with her, had some issues and was a really special kind of mom, and made a big difference between kids. Okay, so that kind of dysfunction, but definitely there were some issues. So we had become friends, and she had told me about a niece. So let me kind of back up. Her sister lived with her. They lived in the original family home. Her family home is paid off, so there is no mortgage. The only thing they have to pay is the property tax and any bills, maintenance, utilities. That's it. Okay. The house is paid. It's a cute little house. It's in the hood, but it's a cute little house. Well, her sister, and initially her two daughters shared the home. The sister has come down with Alzheimer's. Okay. And the sister's daughter, which would be my friend's niece, is touched a butthole. Okay, I'm gonna put it like that. No ifs, ands, or buts. Well, the daughter comes, gets mama, so mama can watch her kids. And now all of a sudden the daughter come get mama and keeping mama at her house, and that way she can spend mama's Social Security money and other stuff, and have her watch the kids. Well, all of a sudden, my friend actually went out of town to go to the daughter's sister, so the other niece of the sister with Alzheimer's, wedding during COVID. The daughter came, got her mama, and some of the people that couldn't keep their butt in the house during COVID. So all of a sudden, the COVID has spread to the family in the home. She takes her mama and puts her mama back at the house that my friend lives at, that they all lived at together, my friend and her sister. So she takes her back there and drops her off. And in a family meeting about the wedding, it comes up that the sister has COVID, and that this girl, who's her daughter, dropped her back off. My friend's niece dropped her mama off at the house. so that when my friend comes back from Florida, her and her daughter, who's coming from the wedding, are now going to be susceptible to COVID if the sister with the COVID is back at the house. Drama, family drama, just the dynamics of why I tend not to jack with family too much. And because if you don't, I don't understand it. I sit back and I'm going, this is just me. I sit back and it's amazing to me how family just cracks their butt cheeks and takes dumps on each other. And they do some deplorable stuff, just absolutely deplorable. But what's even more mind numbing to me is the people that go back and interact with these buttholes. Monty did some stuff, and me and Monty would have come to Jesus meetings, and then the behavior would curve. But then also, I had to come to some conclusions about things. I'm grown. You don't owe me nothing. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. You do what you gotta do. But of all the family, he was about the only one I could deal with because I could just be fresh, straight up, and say what I had to say and be done. And then it's gonna be this way. And he knew that about me. He knew it's like and after I'm done with it, I'm done with it. So that's like when he tried to call me about the doctor. I said, "You grown, and I'm sorry for how he died, but you need to open your mouth and talk to your doctor. I'm not your mama, and you don't need, and a woman don't need to do everything for you. You're grown. You got your right mind, as right as it could be, being from what he came from. You got your right mind. You know what's wrong with you, and you know how to communicate. You just don't want to. You want somebody else to do it for you. I'm not doing that anymore. You open your mouth and do it for yourself. Point blank, period. There's a point where you have to draw lines or draw lines, okay? And it amazes me when you get around people and it's like, what you see is what you get. If you realize that these folks is crazy, then why are you dealing with them? So, more with the story. So, my friend went recently. So, this story that happened with the COVID, obviously, that's during COVID time. And the sister, actually, her daughter who was here, my friend's daughter who was here, said to the cousin, the aunt's, my friend's sister, you need to come pick your mama up from the house because my mama is coming back from your sister's wedding, and my sister's gonna be with her. Hold on, family main ones with grind mode. I'm gonna come through this phone. Say it again. He said, family be the main ones with ulterior motives. That's why I keep my, hey man, distance. They can be real cutthroat with it. Family will show you firsthand human nature before the people in the world show you. Okay, I gotta come back to that. We gonna grind mode. Oh, you get love. Somebody on my page. Cause I'm sitting up here and I'm like, am I the only, I feel sometimes like, this sometimes when I'm dealing with my friends and I be listening to the family stuff, I be like this. Cause I don't understand. I literally don't understand. And literally because grind, I'm coming back to that. I gotta stay on subject because I'm coming back because you just hit. I'm gonna be talking about this. Oh my God, this is good. So her daughter, who lives with she lives with an aunt that's further out, and I don't know why she lives there. It might be because they have a bigger home, and it's more space with the aunt, which is a sister that I met, and I really like her other sister. Her other sister, love her other sister. Okay, I met her, cool people. I have not only met two people. I've met obviously her because I actually trained her. We all worked together. Well, me and the friend of mine worked at the University of Phoenix together with the white guy. So the friend of mine is black, but the white guy was talking about. I think she remembers him. She might remember him. We haven't brought him up, but I just thought about him today when I was thinking about him doing that investigation on his daughters, the stepmother. So today, or a couple days ago, the daughter. Let me go back to the wedding. So when that whole COVID thing was going on, her oldest daughter was like, "Look, my mama, meaning my friend, and her sister, meaning my friend's other daughter. She had two daughters. The oldest daughter was like, you need to get your mama up out the main house and go get her. I'm not going to get. Oh no, you're going to get her, or I'm going to have somebody pick her up and drop her at your house. You chose to get your mama. You chose to be in the streets. You chose to be out here doing what you're not supposed to do. So now your entire family is fighting COVID, but you're not going to drop COVID at the door of the house in which my mama has to come back to and put my mama's health at risk. Amen to that daughter. So that daughter, her oldest daughter ain't no joke. Her oldest daughter wanna, one of them ones wanna lay hands and whoop behind. This is why I avoid drama, because to me, I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna know how to handle you, and we're gonna handle it in a way where it's done. So I'm gonna try to keep myself up out the madness, so that we don't open up the casket that God has put the other Shannon in. I can't. Okay. Long story short, the woman comes, gets the mama. My friend's daughter, who is still here, that didn't go to the wedding, goes in with the mask, bleaches down the whole house, disinfects the house for when her mom and her sister get back to make sure there's no COVID, changes out the air filters, does all this stuff, which I thought was beautiful. I really, that told me how much she respected my friend as a mother. And I will say, my friend, she loves her two daughters. She does. Um, and I will give her commendations, because she said, I stopped dating because all I could think is I had two girls, and a man or male or whatever had one time to do something to my children, and she said I was going to be locked up. So I had to commend her, because some people don't think like that, and that to me is commending her. However, it seems funny to me that you can't see drama in your own family, or if you know it's there, it's like you go into a point of delusion. Okay, and I call it, because I had to ask her, are you delusional? So her sister has ended up, the niece came, got the sister several months ago, moved the sister into the house with her so that she could get a hold of her mama's Social Security money, and also to have mama as a living babysitter for her kids. Okay. So my friend said, well, she ain't paying no bills here no more, so I'm going to pack her stuff up and get it over to her daughter's house, because you ain't paying, if you ain't paying no bills, your stuff got to go. Okay. So I'm giving boxes. She packing up her sister's stuff. And I said, are you going to hire a moving company? Why don't they come get it? She said, oh, because my niece ain't going to do that. She said, but no, that stuff is going to that house. So my friend finally completes, after months, gets all her sister's stuff packed up. Her and the other sister, the one I met, they go in there, they pack up the whole house of all the sister's stuff. She recently hires a U-Haul, puts all the stuff on the U-Haul, got her best friend who lives around the corner, and the best friend's son, and the daughter who's living at home. They all went to drop the stuff off. Now, I'm going to stop here for a second and back up. The sister has a car there at the house. I have towing service that don't care whether you got insurance on the car or not. They will tow your car, and then if it goes over a certain distance, then you have to pay. She said, Shannon, I was wondering if you could help me and have my sister's car towed over to her daughter's house. I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't have a problem doing that. I said, you got to pay whatever the distance fee is, but yeah, I'll call the service and you just come get me on Saturday or whatever, and we'll do it. Well, I didn't realize which Saturday. She wanted to do it a couple Saturdays ago. And I had taken some time. This is, like I said, the Lord's been dealing with me. He's like, I need you to take some time. So I took some time, and I said, Linda, I'm not going to do it this week. I'm going to do it 2 weeks out. I said, let's do it about 3 weeks from now. I said, because I've taken off time I said, God is doing something. I got some downtime. So I realized God is giving me he wants me some private time. So no hanging out with the friends. I need to spend some time in my house. I need to spend some time with him. And I'm just taking some downtime. And so I hadn't been to a movie in forever. I went and saw a movie, which was okay. The next day I came home, and that was, I think, that Saturday. She wanted me to go hang out. I'd taken some time off work on a Friday, got off a little early just to go see a movie and just chill. And then I took some downtime for here at the house. Okay. And I've been doing that. So the past few weekends, I haven't gone out with Joe. I haven't gone out with anybody. Okay. I also have been analyzing my spending. I've been looking at that too. And just and looking at the house and saying, okay, you got stuff you need to do here. You need to get back focused. Because when I got back here, I was so focused, and especially even in things with me and my relationship with the Lord. So I said, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not this weekend. Let's schedule it. And I scheduled it 3 weeks out. Okay. Well, that Saturday, she was planning on doing everything. I didn't know, because she didn't communicate that. She was planning on doing the U-Haul move and having the car towed. I did not know that. And she said, oh, no, that's not a problem. So then when I called her, she said, oh yeah, we're getting a U-Haul load. I said, U-Haul? She goes, yeah. I said, oh, you were trying to do this all on this Saturday. She said, yeah, but that's okay. We can do the car later. I said, okay, no problem. I said, well, let me let you go. Y'all go ahead and do the U-Haul thing. And I said, I told you I had some movers because Fluffy ain't lifting nothing now. I'm not in the shape for it anymore. One of the reasons I'm not trucking. So I'm like, Fluffy grandma is not doing all that. That moving, I don't like moving. I hate moving. Absolutely hate it. I hate packing. I hate the whole process. That's why I hate going through unpacking and going through stuff. So at this point, I said, we go and I give her I tell her, she says, I'm getting this stuff done. Well, then she calls me later that day. Y'all, you've told me your family got drama. Or this niece has drama. You told me the niece is crazy. You told me the niece is a butthole. Okay? She called me and tells me all this drama the girl did. There was almost a fight that broke out. My friend fell on the little landing thing you take off, the little ramp from the U-Haul, because the niece went to throw something and hit her daughter, because the niece is like, oh no, y'all ain't leaving these boxes here. It's your mama's stuff. You didn't pay for the move. You ain't packed nothing. We brought it. She's like, well, I didn't know you were coming. She said, and my friend said, no, I've left you messages. I called. Well, I said, she says, I even tried to call your mom's phone, but and the niece has even blocked my friend, which is a sister of her mother, from being able to talk to her sister. So she's blocked my friend's number on her phone, okay, on her mama's phone. The girl's crazy, okay, she's crazy. So my friend is telling me all this, and it's a lot of just so much drama. So much drama. And I'm sitting up here and I'm getting mad as she's telling me, because she's telling me the girl putting, unloading the boxes, the girl throwing the boxes back on the U-Haul. And I'm getting mad because I'm thinking, oh, I wish somebody would. Because at this point, I'm going to lay you out. And I'm starting to get mad, which is not, that was the old Shannon. And then after I got off the phone with her and I realized how mad I got, because I don't deal with a lot of family. I don't deal with family drama at all. That's one of the reasons when my brother graduated, I wasn't going in that house. At first I was going to go. And then I had to say to myself, wait a minute. I started getting anxiety. I'm like, I can't fake the funk. The people in that house, most of them have always cracked their butt cheeks and taken a dump on me. I'm done. I'm tired. There's so much when you try to do the right thing and then you're finally it's like even the other siblings from Monty. The only one that was half decent was the sister, but even still, there was issues I had with her on how the whole car. I'm like, at this point, there's too much water, there's too much animosity, and you lean towards your brothers. So I'm gonna leave you guys and whatever that is. God bless you. I pray for you. I hope it all works out. It's forgiven. But at this point, I have issues with how things were handled. So I'm gonna back up and leave you in God's hands, and y'all be together in whatever that is that Monty didn't raise y'all to be, and that's one of the reasons why you are. Plus all the stuff you've inherited, and whether you want to acknowledge the inheritance of what you got, the generational curses. So my friend, I told her, I said, I got off the phone with her. And about a day later, it set on me heavy. I was mad for a couple of days. It's not even my family. And I'm pissed off. Okay. And I had to step back because I was also supposed to help her with the car. And I was like, I'm telling my friend, look, if we still have to take that car out there, we're not going to drop it in front of your niece's house. We're going to drop it across the street, somewhere on the street, away from the drama, because I'm not going to have no drama. I'm not about drama. Now, y'all, I'm going to let y'all know, I got protection in my house. And when I feel I have to take my protection with me, we're going to have a problem. Because if I pull it, I will use it. Point blank, period. Okay? Point blank, period. And I was like, you're walking into something that's going to awaken a person that God has crucified. So I called my friend. I said, look, I said, because when she was telling me, I had asked her, I said, are you delusional? Well, I told her I was doing this, I did this. No, there are people who like drama. Okay. Let's go here. There are people who like drama. It's an adrenaline rush to them. It's like sex to them. My mother was like this. They like confrontation. They like bullying. They like hoopla. They like, because you done called me, told me all the drama of this niece. You're calling everybody else. All the family is calling. Yeah. You like drama. You like drama. I'm not going to have drama. Zero. Zero. So I had to tell my friend, I'm like, look, let me explain something to you. I don't like drama. I don't know parts of it. I I don't. I said, now I will help you tow this car, but we're not going to put it in her driveway. We will drop it. If we do it, we're going to drop it on the street somewhere. And you can then follow up with her and let her know it's right there in the neighborhood. That's what's going to happen if I help you with it. Because I have to be there for the tow truck. I can't just call the tow truck because I have to sign off on it at the end when they drop the car. I said, and again, you pay for everything, but I'm not going to have confrontation because if I have confrontation with your niece, I don't want to end up in handcuffs behind something that makes no sense. First of all, your niece has shown you over and over who she is. You told me about this girl on several different occasions. When people, what's Maya Angelou saying? If they tell you who they are, believe them. What you see is what you get. So many people, I don't know what this is with folks. You want to, you see family or situations or people and their drama. And it's like you want to stay in the drama. I'm not understanding it. And I get people, and I'm just trying to make sure nobody put any more comments on here. I get people who I sit there and I'm just like, are you not seeing this? So I asked my friend, I said, are you delusional? Are you delusional? You're trying to tell me, oh, no, 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 I'm doing this. So you think that this person who's shown you her behavior, she's your niece, she's your sister's daughter, she showed you who she is for basically what you described years of her being a butthole. And you think that she's going to change her butthole behavior because you packed up some things. No, you don't. You knew it was going to be drama. You decided, you knew she was going to act a fool. And it's entertainment to you because that must be what you like. I don't know, or I don't know if that's that, or you hope that people be different. I don't know what it is. But grind mode, right here, I love the part. They be real cutthroat with it. Family will show you firsthand human nature before the people in the world show you. I have less problems with strangers. And I mean strangers as far as, when I mean strangers, they're not directly blood related to me. I have less problems with those people than in the family. I don't know if it's because you're family or because there's a blood tie. You think you can just piss and poop on people and that we're supposed to take it. And the other problem I have is for the family members who allow it. You continue in it. And it doesn't make sense to me. Another story. I had a young lady I worked with. This is a true story. And we worked together. Actually, she was a team lead. Well, she was a coach and then a team lead for me at the company I worked at, healthcare. And she ended up, we ended up leaving the company at the same time, actually, around the same time. And I still actually interact a little bit with this young lady today. But her daughter had told her Abyss was having problems with raising the kids. And they were shipping them out here to the associate I worked with. I won't say friend, I would say associate. And so when she shipped them out here, they were little kids. I'm talking, I don't even know if either one of them was in grade school. One of them, I think the baby was like 2, a little boy, and then the girl might have been 4 or 5, okay? The understanding that she was shipping them here and was also sending paperwork for her mama to have custody of these 2 kids. Y'all, this story is sad. So when the kids came out, this associate of mine got the kids, and she actually resigned from the company because she wanted to work from home so she could be there to try to raise her grandbabies. And they were dicking around with giving her work from home, so she decided, I'll just resign. And her husband was like, just resign. Her husband at the time, she's remarried now because her other husband died. And I talked to her, and something had told me, and I wasn't working at a different healthcare company, and that unctioning God gives me. And we had talked a little bit, and I said, hey, I know you don't know my thing I do with people. You don't know me very well. I said, but God has something on me, and I'm just going to share with you. You may need to contact CPS for your grandbabies and let them know what's going on with your daughter and get them to get you custody of those kids so that you can take care of them. So she says, no, this is my husband's only daughter, and and we love our daughter, and even though she having issues, we don't want to do X, Y, and Z. And I said, well, while I understand this is your child, and she knew her child was crazy, your child is not a fit mother for these kids as what you have described. And these babies are defenseless. Your child is grown. So she can figure it out if she decides to figure it out. But these babies need a good home, and a safe place. And you have opened up your home, and what your daughter told you she was going to do, she did. So I'm working now across the street, and some of the people that we have worked with were at the same new healthcare company I went to. And so they saw me like, hey, Shannon, you heard from XYZ person? I said, no. She said, you heard what happened? I said, what happened? She said, yes, something happened with a grandbaby. So here's the story. This woman, her daughter, came back to Arizona, got the kids, and took them back to the state they was initially from. One day, I guess the daughter going to try to force the daddy that don't want to raise his son to watch the baby boy, and the baby boy later ends up dead. I'm going to come back to this. When people show you who they are or tell you who they are, believe them. I'm an open book. What you see is what you get. But the other thing is again, we all make different choices. I got a friend of mine who I know brought COVID up in his house. And I know that I really believe that a family member of his is in a casket because he brought COVID because he couldn't keep his butt in the house. And there were other things like, I'm just going to do it this way. Okay. When people show you, that's why I kind of got to the point where I got along with Grumpy because we still understood each other. Because I would say what I have to say. It's going to be what it's going to be. Yeah. And you're going to be who you're going to be. I'm going to be who I'm going to be. And I think we got along because of that. But he had a lot of a-hole characteristics. And then as soon as I absorbed it and I say what I had to say, you're going to do what you're going to do. And as I told him, you're going to get it or you're going to get it. That's for all of us. We're going to get it or we're going to get it. It's just the way life is. You're either going to get it in change or you're going to get it in whatever the negative end is going to be. What you see is what you get. People meet me and sometimes it kills me because I see it when they do it. They're like this. It's like they're trying to figure me out. It's funny because I think you have to do that with all these other people who have all these ulterior motives. And when you get somebody who's just like, this is who I am, then you sit up there trying to figure them out. And it's like, why are you trying to figure me out? You don't have to figure anything out about me. I've just told you who I am. I'm not about drama. I'm a very straight shooter about my stuff. And I'm not about a bunch of games. I can't stand people who run around the trees. I can't stand people who lie to me, and I can't stand people who want to manipulate me. And if you're an a-hole, I really, on the most part, want to be away from you because I come from that. So I don't like drama. Zero. Which is why then, when I talked to my friend, I said, you're going to have to do this, that, or the other thing because either we're dropping it on the street or I'm not going to be a part of it. She said, I'll get my other friend because you want drama. You want to, well, we can put it in our, no. We're not dropping that on that woman's property for this woman to come out and act a fool with me because she act a fool with me. She going to get pulled out on, and if it go too far, I'm going to be in handcuffs and she going to be in a casket. We don't need to do this. So there's ways to avoid drama. But I realize there are people who want it. It's like they breathe it. And then on top of that, I'm not understanding. And when it comes to family, it seems to be extremely prevalent that they draw this in. And I sit back in awe. I'm like, why? You know what you're getting. What you see is what you get. You know who this person is. The one associate of mine, that was a 2-year-old child who's in a casket. You knew who your daughter was. You knew who she became. You might be partly responsible for what she became. I don't know how she was reared. But you know your daughter crazy. And if you know your daughter is crazy and you can prevent something from happening to them grandbabies, then do it. Because what you see is what you get. I just told you about the Jehovah's Witness man. He said, I don't want what happened to my daughters to happen under my watch. I'm willing to, even if I like this person, I care for this person, I think this is the person I want to marry, I'm doing a background check. And I'm going to tell them I'm doing a background check. What you see is what you get. I'm like, okay, you're a winner. You're a winner. But see, most people want the drama. They don't want the winner. They want the madness, and they enjoy it. It's like, I don't know. Like I said, I don't understand it. And I have a recent situation where I saw where somebody was trying to figure me out. I saw it, and it's okay. Who I say I am is who I am. You can like it, lump it, or leave it. It's not gonna hurt me none. I'm a what you see is what you get kind of person. Even at my job, there's one guy. He said, and even my associate, and I said, what do you know about me? I said, what is it about me that you like? She says, you're real. Bingo. I said, I'm a what you see is what you get kind of person. I said, but I'm not the only one. There's people around you. What you see is what you're getting. If you see drama, that's what you're going to get. Now, if you continue to want to get drama, that tells me you like drama. There are families, people, even in friendships, there's people who are in dramatic relation with friends. And I've got people who dismiss me because I'm a straight shooter. And people like fake opposed to reality. They don't want to deal with real, and I'm too real. And I understand that too. Sometimes my realness people may see as negative because I'm not somebody who's going to sit and fake the funk with you. I'm not going to sit, oh, I think that's wonderful. You love your daughter. And your daughter is great. She's a winner. She's the best. She's your husband's only daughter. Oh, that's wonderful. You got those 2 grandbabies. Oh, girl, that's the right thing to do is give them grandbabies back to that woman. And the next thing you know, the baby's in a casket. I had a friend right now. We don't even talk about his family anymore. I warned him several times of situations with, one of them was from a dream. I didn't know this nephew. I hadn't even met the nephew. I didn't know the boy from a can of paint. I know I had a dream. I know he told me he had gotten custody of some nephews. I had a dream. I called him. I said, hey, remember I told you about an issue with a job? And everything I've ever dreamt in conjunction where it's like a warning for him has happened. It has happened. Okay. I warned him. I said, the Lord has put me on me on something. I had a dream. There's going to be violence in your household. You're going to have to defend either your mother or your brother. He's a Down syndrome brother. You're going to defend one of them. Sure enough, everything I told him happened. He had to defend his mama. The boy tried to stab him. Everything. And he brought him back in the house. Matter of fact, the boy's in the house now. And this was years ago. But yeah, and there's been a level of drama even beyond the stabbing. Lots of drama, okay? Even beyond the stabbing. Drama. Massive, massive drama. I don't understand it, and it's not my makeup. I'll leave that to them, and maybe that's their God-given path to deal with that. I don't know. I don't understand it. And I sit here and grind, hit it on the head before the people in the world show you. For me, I don't interact with any family. The family that I had that was of consequence to me is all dead. That were my grandparents. Those were the people, and a great great aunt that really, I would say, were in my corner. For now, Monty was so grumpy, but the people who I knew I could depend on if something happened, they're dead. So now it's me and Jesus. That's honesty. And God has moved up on people who are friends of mine hard to help me in some hard times. And that's honesty. Family, I really don't have any. Honestly, I don't. They're blood related to me, but interactions, not really. And it's because I can no longer play the game. I never really was the game player, especially growing up in the jacked up household under my mother. And when I left there, I was so broken that by the time I really started being rational about things, I can't. People who have been drawing to me lately, the people I've talked to, are a lot of broken people, and a lot of family issues. And I asked the question, do you like the drama? Do you like the drama? Because obviously, if you're still in it, you like it. I have one, and she's a trucker on here. Her father died similar to mine, found dead in his apartment, and he had other issues. He had drug issues, and I warned her because some of the things she had told me of the dynamics of the family. And she's like, well, I was trying to do the right thing, and I contacted these people, and Shannon, the amount of drama, you're right, right. Right, right. I tried to warn you that it was going to be a lot of drama. I warned you. I warned you that it was going to be a lot of drama. And everything I warned you of is exactly what the hell happened. I warned you. And so later on, she said I didn't know. I thought she went to her father's funeral. She said, no, I didn't go. She said, the way they treated me, I tried to warn you. I tried to warn you because I just came from the madness in Texas. I tried to warn you. And between just warning her own experience, I said, I hate to say it, and I know we have an innate want of family because that's what we should have. But when you start seeing the nature of people and you start understanding it, cut it off. And just pray, God, bring around me the people who are profitable to me. And I'm not saying profit money, I'm talking about profitable to your spirit, man. And they're not going to be always the people who are going to be yes, yes, yes. Some of these people going to tell you about yourself. Because my best friend, she would tell me, she'll straight up, Shannon, no, boom, boom, boom. Shannon, boom, boom, boom. She said what on her mind. My buddy Jane, my best friend Jane, oh no, she'll tell you. And I like them kind of people. Even if it pisses me off for a moment, I would rather that. I don't want you. It's just the same way I told this young lady. You know your daughter has issues. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you, oh girl, your daughter, and no, you know your daughter has issues. You know that. You know that. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I see a bigger picture too. It's a detriment to people. It's kind of like what we're seeing now with the whole gender stuff going on. To me, it goes back to old school, what they call gender dysphoria. But now, and as one of the girls I worked with last night, she said, "I'm tired of people trying to push stuff on me." And I get it. And this is what she's talking about, this issue. She's like, if I'm seeing you with a beard and I'm supposed to call you a she, I'm having a problem with this. I agree, 100%. Because it's like you're pushing on me. If you want to be, that's cool. You be you, do you. I don't care. That's your life. But reality is, you're trying to make me look at you, and it's like you're trying to make me crazy. You're pushing something on me, and that's not me. That's your world. Do your world. Do your world with the people in your world. If I'm not in your world and I'm a stranger, then understand I got to see this in the reality of what it is, not in whatever reality you living in. This is kind of how I see things when it comes to people and family. Guys, be in the reality and be in that reality. Don't be deceived. What you see is what you get. Let me go back through comments. Anyway, that was my subject for today. And let me see who's on here still. Kathy, Jay, all right, Tanya. Trying to see if anybody else. All right, and Grind said his stuff. Anyway, guys, I ain't gonna be on here much longer. We're ready to get off because I did an hour. That's 64 minutes. But if you do see the video later, give us a like, thumbs up, share it out. Be real, you know. And I think a lot of people are living in, as I told my friend, are you in delusion? You knew your niece ain't changed. Your niece is gonna be the same butthole she's been. Unless she's had a Jesus conversion, she gonna be who she is. Point blank period. Um, she's not changing. And I'm not going to walk up into family drama. I don't deal with my own family drama and madness. So I'm not gonna deal with somebody else's family drama and madness. I'm a person that you need to deal with your stuff. I will, Tanya. You gotta deal with your stuff. You be careful too and be safe. Okay? You got to deal with your stuff. People don't want to deal with their stuff. Deal with it and be real with it. Don't get caught up in drama in your own family, in other people's family, in your world. Guys, get some peace in your Middle East. And a lot of times, peace means setting a standard of what you're going to deal with and what you're not. Leave it at this with this young lady that I've been dealing with in transportation, her and then another young lady I work with. Well, actually, a couple of young ladies I work with. Um, they got a lot of family stuff going on. That one of them, she's depressed. Um, she's been dealing she's been dealing with suicidal stuff. She's dealing with anger issues, and she's getting counseling. Praise God, she needs it. But she lives in the family home with the drama. Okay, with the drama and all the family stuff. The other one is over the road right now, and she's still interacting. And when she gets done talking to family, she's angry, she's mad. Guys, don't put yourself in the midst of craziness. Once you realize it's crazy, remove yourself from it. You can pray for them people. They can do, and you can be cordial with them. But there's a point where you got to do this. You got to choose whether it's something you need to stay in or something you need to get out of. That man went and got his daughters. He got them they were from Washington State. He brought them here to Arizona. He bought a home. He got them in the home. He got his daughters counseling. Um, 3 girls. When he decided to remarry, he's like, hey, I'm gonna background check this chick. I'm not gonna put my girls in there. That's avoiding drama. There are steps you can take to alleviate the madness out of your life. Take those steps. So I don't know who I'm talking to. I know it's been the past couple of weeks have been heavy week. Like I said, I've had some people cross my path with a lot of stuff. And when I ask people, I say, sometimes you try to figure me out because I see people do this to me. I'm like, you don't have to figure me out. I can tell you who I am. Most of my people tell you I'm a straight shooter. That's some of the things people don't like about me. One of the things my family don't like. Because most families, they want to sweep all their dirt under the rug. And they want to come out like this around the strangers. And we all get along and we all love each other and happy, joy, joy. And behind the scenes is hellacious. I was in a church where I got my ministry license. When the rug got pulled back, and I don't even know all the dirt. It was enough dirt for me to do this. You know, I don't know, the old Baptist finger, they walk out the door and keep rolling. 2 fingers, and I kept rolling. There was so much drama from possible Chester the molester, the woman that was sleeping with the married men that they were getting ready to ordain, the breakup of this family that she's a child, the daughter is suicide. And the pastor knows everything going on. And then he's manipulating stuff, and it was conniving and money. And I'm not trying to say that, but I'm saying when you see drama, regardless of what form it is, and I'm not saying that not to be leaving God. I'm not saying it for that reason, because man gonna be man. What I'm saying is it doesn't matter where the drama is. Friends, family, churches, whatever. If there's a massive amount of drama, exit stage left. Leave the madness. Get peace in your Middle East. Whatever your Middle East is. And don't allow others people's drama to come in. No matter if it's friends. I love you as a friend. Me and you might be able to get along, but I'm not going to go into your family madness. My friend, he's invited. I went to his house, his new house. He had it remodeled. I went one time. Hung out with the family one time. Since he's done all he's done. Now that I know all the other folks is living back in the house, oh, you want to come? We gonna no, I'm good. I'm good. Me and you can go eat. I don't want nothing to do with the motherfucker. I can't because the madness. It's absolute insanity. And if you want to be in the insanity because that's your normal, some people that's their family normal. The insanity is their normal, and people put on false faces, and people will present something that is not truly who they are. I'm just too real for that. And as life has happened, I become more real every day. So you choose whether you're going to have drama or not. You choose whether you're going to have peace or not. You choose whether you're going to have freedom or not. Anyway, guys, 2 and 2, be blessed. Guys, there's a movie, and actually I'm getting ready to watch it. movie, a series on Apple TV that's pretty good if you like sci-fi. I'm just getting into it. It's called Silo. Very good. Very good. Got some decent and well-known actors in here. Some couple of A and B actors, Common's in it, and there's a couple other actors that I know I've seen in other stuff. Very, very, very good. Anyway, peace, y'all. Two and two, be blessed, be safe, and be who you are. Also, when people, Maya Angelou, if people tell you who they are, believe them. And telling is not always verbal. Sometimes it's what people show you. Believe the truth. That's who they are. Peace.